I remember the exact moment my marriage ended. It happened in a crowded restaurant, under warm yellow lights, with people laughing all around us. And my wife looked straight at the waiter, and said something that made the entire table laugh. "Don't worry about him," she said, waving her hand in my direction. "He's harmless, he just hands me his paycheck every Friday." The table erupted in laughter. Even the waiter smiled awkwardly. And I sat there, holding my glass of water, pretending it didn't bother me. But inside, something cracked. Because what she said was true. Every Friday. For 7 years. I gave my entire paycheck to my wife. Every dollar. And I trusted her with it. What I didn't know was where that money was really going. My name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old. I work as a mechanical technician at a manufacturing plant outside Chicago. It's not glamorous work. Long shifts. Grease under your fingernails. Machines screaming louder than your thoughts. But it pays well. And for years, I believed I was building a good life. For my family. My wife Melissa handled the finances. That was her idea. She always said she was better with money. Honestly, I didn't mind. I trusted her. Every Friday afternoon, my paycheck would hit the account. And by the time I got home, Melissa would already be sitting at the kitchen table. Laptop open. Bills organized. Calculator clicking. She'd smile and say the same thing every week. "Just transfer everything, babe. I'll handle it." And I did. Mortgage. Groceries. Utilities. Everything went through her. If I needed money for gas, I asked. If I wanted to grab lunch at work, I asked. She always said it was just easier that way. For years, I believed her. Melissa loved appearances. Expensive things. Designer bags. Luxury spas. Weekend brunches with friends. From the outside, our life probably looked perfect. Nice house. Nice car. Stylish wife. Responsible husband. But the truth was, something always felt a little off. Whenever I asked about savings, Melissa changed the subject. Whenever I mentioned investing, she laughed it off. "Relax, Daniel, you worry too much." And I let it go. Because I didn't want to fight. Because I loved her. Because I believed marriage meant trust. The first person who questioned things was someone I barely knew. Her name was Laura. She worked at the local bank branch, where I sometimes deposited checks from side jobs. Laura was quiet, professional, the type of person who noticed small details. One afternoon, I walked in to deposit a check. She looked at the amount, then at me, and hesitated. "Can I ask you something?" she said gently. I shrugged. "Sure." She lowered her voice. "Do you and your wife manage your accounts together?" The question caught me off guard. "Yeah," I said. "Why?" Laura looked uncomfortable, like she was debating whether to say more. Then she shook her head. "Never mind, it's probably nothing." But the look on her face stayed with me the entire day. That night, curiosity finally got the better of me. Melissa was out with her friends. So I opened my laptop and logged into our banking app, something I rarely did. At first, everything looked normal. Bills, payments, transfers. Then I noticed something strange. Recurring transfers. To an account I didn't recognize. Every month. Large amounts. 3,000. Sometimes 5. The account name wasn't Melissa's. It belonged to someone named Ryan Carter. My stomach tightened. I scrolled further back. The transfers had been happening for almost a year. My hands felt cold. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Maybe an investment account. Maybe a business partner. Maybe something innocent. But deep down, I already knew something was wrong. Over the next few weeks, I started paying attention. Really paying attention. Melissa suddenly had more late meetings. More weekend trips with friends. More unexplained expenses. One night, while she was in the shower, her phone buzzed. On the kitchen counter. I glanced at the screen. The message preview said, "Dinner tomorrow? Same place, miss you. From Ryan." I didn't open the message. I didn't need to. Because in that moment, everything made sense. My paycheck. The transfers. The secrets. The disrespect. I wasn't just being lied to. I was financing the lie. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I stayed quiet. Calm. Observing. Planning. Because I wanted the truth to come out. In a way, no one could deny. 2 months later, Melissa organized a big celebration. Our 10th wedding anniversary. She invited friends, family, co-workers, even some of her wealthy social circle. She booked a private event hall. At a luxury hotel. The place was stunning. Crystal chandeliers. Live piano music. Champagne flowing like water. People congratulated us all night. 10 years, that's amazing. Melissa loved the attention. She wore a glittering silver dress. She laughed loudly. She told stories about our perfect marriage. And I smiled quietly beside her. Because I knew the truth. And soon, everyone else would too. Halfway through the evening, Melissa clinked her glass. Everyone, she announced with a bright smile. Daniel prepared a little speech for tonight. The room applauded. She leaned close and whispered, "Don't embarrass me with one of your boring speeches." I stood slowly, walked to the small stage, and took the microphone. The room went quiet. Behind me, the large projector screen lit up. Melissa looked confused. "Daniel?" I smiled. "Tonight, I want to talk about trust." People nodded politely. Trust is the foundation of marriage. Trust means believing the person beside you respects you, values you, protects your future. I paused. The screen behind me flickered. The first slide appeared. A bank statement. With highlighted transfers. Large payments. To an account named Ryan Carter. A murmur spread through the room. Melissa's smile froze. "For 7 years," I continued. "I gave my entire paycheck to my wife." Another slide appeared. More transfers. More dates. More amounts. I believed that money was building our future. The next slide appeared. Photos. Melissa sitting at a restaurant table. Across from a man. Ryan. Holding hands. Laughing. Gasps filled the room. Melissa stood up. "Daniel, stop." But I kept speaking. Instead, that money was supporting someone else. The final slide appeared. A document. Divorce papers. Already signed by me. And a legal report. Of the financial investigation. Silence filled the hall. Melissa's face turned pale. Ryan slowly stood up. From the back of the room. And quietly walked out. No one stopped him. I lowered the microphone slightly. And looked at my wife. I never wanted revenge. I only wanted truth. Then I turned back to the crowd. Respect matters. Trust matters. If someone sacrifices for you, the least you can do is honor that sacrifice. I placed the microphone back on the stand and stepped off the stage. No shouting. No insults. Just silence. The divorce was finalized. 3 months later, Melissa tried to apologize. She cried. She said she made mistakes. But some things, once broken, cannot be repaired. As for me, life slowly became peaceful again. I kept working, saving, rebuilding. And one day, while depositing a check at the bank, Laura looked up and smiled. "Looks like things are going better." I smiled back. "Yeah, they are. Because sometimes, losing the wrong person is the first step toward finding the right life." Respect is quiet, but when it disappears, the silence becomes very loud. And I learned something important. Love without respect is just a beautiful lie. If this story resonated with you, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.